Hello and welcome to another exciting class. This is CompTIA A Plus, Core 2. We are now in lesson 11, managing Windows. So if you are just joining us the very first time, this is CompTIA A Plus. It's for beginners in IT, those who want to begin, those who are beginning career in IT and they feel that A Plus is the course they want to begin with. So this is CompTIA A Plus. So at the end of CompTIA A Plus, we're going to take, you can try to write the exam, the CompTIA A Plus exam, where you can be certified, become CompTIA A Plus certified. So if you're a beginner in IT and you just walk into this station by mistake, I want to encourage you to subscribe with us so that you can keep getting videos from us. And this station is called Tech Aeon, where we'll be uploading videos, trainings, all kind of trainings. So you have me. My name is Sam Obemi. I'm an IT expert, an IT professional. I've been in the industry for over 20 years now. And I have a lot of certifications in IT, CCNA, MCSE, Certified CompTIA, Security Plus, just name them. So you have the best tutor that's going to train you on your route to becoming an IT professional. Okay. So if you've been following our videos, fantastic. If you're following us, fantastic. We are in 11 now, lesson 11 now. If you are just joining us the first time, I would advise you to go out, start all over from lesson 1. Start from lesson 1 so that you can be able to, get what we're doing, all what we've said. We've said so many things. Okay, so our objective for this lesson is going to be 3 objectives we have for this lesson. The first one is how to use Microsoft Management Console. Then, of course, how to be able to measure performance and monitor the system, of course. Like when your system is having an issue, what do you do? How you troubleshoot the system with tools you can use to do that? Then look at a few command line tools you can use. All right? Okay. So MMC, which is Use Management Console. Now, there are a lot of consoles on our system. So many consoles we have on the system. So many. And those consoles, they are what we use to manage our Windows, our OS operating system. Now, the first console we'll look at is what's called Device Manager. Now, Device Manager is that console that will enable you to see every devices. When I mean device, I mean hardwares. So all devices, all hardwares that that is connected to your computer system, right? Every hardware is the monitor, the printer, the USB, DVD, display, hard drive, Bluetooth, everything that is connected to the system. You can find them in Device Manager. So if a device is not working well, you can go to Device Manager, you can remove it. You can disable it, you can install it. If you don't want a device anymore, you can go and uninstall it. Right? So how do we access Device Manager? Let's go there. So to access Device Manager, easy way to do that, you can go to your start icon, which is what you are seeing on the screen now. Right click on it, then up you see what? Device Manager. Open it. Right? Now, it will take us to the Device Management Console. It's going to take us there right now. So here we are now. So this is Device Management Console. Okay, good. So if you take a look now, this is our computer system. This is my computer. So what I have here now is every hardware, the audio, everything, the sound, the monitor, the keyboard, everything, USB, software, that software driver, everything, the printer, everything that's connected to the system, my system. This is where I'll find them, right? So you could tell here if a device is not working. So if a device is not working very, you could tell. One way to know if a device is not working is something like this. You see, it's something like unknown device. Now it means that this very device, the hardware is connected to this computer. I'm using my computer, right? That is connected to it, right? Now, but the software is not working. That means even though the hardware is connected to Windows, doesn't recognize the hardware. That way I see an unknown device. So that means that hardware is there, but the software is not working, which is not going to work. That hardware will not work. So it's left for me to troubleshoot and find out what device is that. All right? If I know the device that is giving this problem, what do? I'll install it. I can see this for this one now. I see this is a Bluetooth device, Bluetooth Wi-Fi device. In other words, this Bluetooth device, right? So you see a question mark. The OS is contesting the hardware. Right? So either not compatible, or the driver that is there is not updated, or the driver is not installed. So you have to install the driver. So how do I install the driver? To install the driver, I can just go there, this one, right click on it. I can say what? Update driver. So I click on update driver, right? It's going to take me through all this process. So browse my comfort. If I know where the driver is, right? If I know where the driver is, I'll go and say locate and install driver manually. If I don't know, I can say search automatic search. You can click on that. Now it will search and search and search, like see, to start searching and searching, even to Windows Update too. Right? So if for instance now, if the device is a device that is working, after a while it stops working, you just have to update the driver. Like you can update mics, you can update it through the internet, update it. So because a lot of times now you have a hardware, that the software is now obsolete. So which means the manufacturer of the hardware, they've released a new update for that driver, a new update, but you've not installed it. So if you don't install, which means the OS will not be able to work with it. The OS will not recognize it. Why? Because what? The manufacturer product have released a new software, which is the driver for that hardware you're using, that will work with that your OS you're using. So long you see use the same software on that OS, it's not going to work. So you have to update it, right? Also, too, there are times you have to disable a device. If I feel this device is causing some conflict on my system, right, I can disable it. I just go and disable it here. Yes, disable. So it's going to disable now. What's now? It's going to disable. See now it's been disabled. See, I click on it now. See, it says enable, which means disable. Go to properties and take a look. Say it's disabled. See, say device is disabled. So I disable when you don't want a device, right? You just disable it. So any device is disabled, right? Even though it's connected to your computer physically, to your hardware, your motherboard, it's connected. But when you get to the Windows environment, it's not going to work because you disabled it in Windows. Alright, remember this stuff is what managing Windows. So in Windows environment, that device will not work. So that is for that, right? So let's enable it back. We can enable it back. Right click on it and say enable. So enable device back. Right? Now we also have to uninstall. If I feel that this driver, I don't need it, right? Or as I'm troubleshooting it, I feel okay, let me uninstall it and reinstall it again. I can install and reinstall any device and reinstall it again. So I have to come in and say uninstall device. Yes, uninstall. So it's going to uninstall that device, take it out. Right? Good. So what I can do now, I can scan for hardware changes now. When I scan for hardware changes, that device I uninstall will come back because the system will try to redetect it because these are plug and play devices. Plug and play means that so long the device is connected to your system, right, Windows will automatically detect it. That will call plug and play. So there we go now. Right click on it, scan for hardware changes. So it will try to look for that device and bring it. So you're going to look for it and bring it up again. Look at it, so bring the device up again. So here now I can begin with the installation process, right? So this is the same thing you're going to do for every other devices that are here. So device manager is very important. As an A+ engineering person, you must know how to use device manager, how to update device manager, how to install leads, how to disable leads, all these ones are very important, right? Okay, so that's for device manager, right? So understand device manager. So all your hardware that you install, you manage in device manager, all the hardware, right? Okay, so let's continue. So we're going to move on to now disk management console. So now one of the way to manage your hard drive through disk management. That's one way to manage your hard drive. So you manage your hard drive through disk management. So if you take a look now, this is disk management now, right? So it's all about the hard drive. Here now we have the volume, partition 0, on and on and on. Now right now you can't know how many hard drive this system has. This very system you don't know, you can't know. Right, based on what you see, you cannot know. But you can know based on what these ones. I can tell you now, this system has 3 hard drives. How do I know? Easy. You see the first one, disk 0, that is the first hard drive. That is the one hard drive, right? Second one, disk 1, that is another hard drive. See, disk 0, one hard drive, another hard drive. Disk 2, that's another drive. Then all 3 hard drive and 1 CD-ROM drive. See, this is a CD-ROM drive. So this system, even here, you cannot know in this place. See, you just cannot know here. Here you have so many icon like hard drives, but all are not hard drives, and you have so many partitions too. So the numbers of hard drive that you install. I'm talking about physical hard drive, right? You know based on what you have in this place. See now, so we have 1, 2, 3. So take a look. The first one now is what? Look at it, 476.0 2.92 gigabytes hard drive. The other one was 465. The other one was 933. This was like 1 terabyte hard drive. See? So all these are the 3 hard drives we have. If you take a look, the first hard drive, X0, right, has what the root partition called C. That's the root partition, right? So when we say root partition, it means that is the what? That is the partition that has what? The operating system installed. So the operating system you're working on, where is it installed? They are currently working on when you start the Windows, when you start the system boots to Windows, right? That location, that partition where the Windows is installed is called what? The root partition, which they are always what? Signified by C drive. So your C drive are always what? The root partition, right? So how do you access disk management? So the access disk management is a straightforward thing. So we can go the same way, right? To the start button, you right click on it and say what? Disk management. Here we go, this disk management. See? So it takes us straight up to disk management. Here we are, and say disk management. See? So right now, you could tell that, like I told you, see here you could see you have you see like you have three disks, but it's not 3, it's 1. How do I know it's 1 hard drive? Based on here, disk 0. So this is 1 hard drive. See? So it's just 1 hard drive. On and like that. See? So this hard drive is actually 250 gigabytes hard drive. But here we are seeing 337 gigabytes hard drive. Why? Because what? Some of the hard drive have been taken out to use for cache memory, virtual memory, for booting, and some other things. Right? So the physical hard drive of this system is 250, but what we are seeing here now is 237 gigabytes. 237 gigabytes of hard drive. Right? And based on what we have here, and if you go back again to this summary we have here, right? You notice that this place now you can tell the free space you have. So you have 31 points out of the 237 gigabytes, you have 31.47 gigabytes that is free. So which means 13% is free, which means this hard drive is always full. We have 30% free hard drive, free space that we have rather, 30% free space that we have. So that calls for what? Upgrades, or apparently I have to take out with some applications that are there that consuming hard disk space. So I'll take it out. Okay. So now also from what we have here now, you can see that we have from what we have here now. So this is what we have here now. So we can take a look at something called dynamic and basic disks. So if you see here, you see now this hard drive they are called type basic disks. The file system are called NTFS. So when we talk about NTFS file system, we talk about new network file system. So back then it is, there used to be a file system called FAT32 file system. So that was when we have earlier version of Windows, like Windows Millennium, Windows 98. So all those operating systems, they use a file system called FAT. All right, FAT32, that was the file system. So what's FAT32? FAT32, there are file systems that are less that are less secure. Less secure in terms of they don't offer more security. They don't offer expansion in terms of dynamic, like a system you want to expand to a larger environment. So they don't offer so many things, like apart from the security. I talk about security, the 0, they don't have security, encryption, they cannot encrypt, so many things they cannot do, right? So but and again, in this kind of environment, FAT environment, we actually use them more like in a work group network environment. So where computers can just share information. So in terms of a centralized kind of network where you have a server, the FAT32 system, they are not actually the best. So that's why they now upgrade to the new file system called NTFS. So NTFS can do create security, create domain network, create server, and so many things. Right. Also too, we also have what called basic disks. So there are two types of disks. So we have the basic disks and we have the dynamic disks. So for your system, normally by default is on basic disks. Your hard drive by basic disks. So we install your hard drives on basic disks. Now you can move the basic disk to dynamic disk when you want to do some advanced things on the hard drive. For instance, in our earlier classes, we talk about the RAIDs. RAID 1, RAID 2, RAID 4, with experience RAID 5, RAID 4, RAID 1, RAID 0, RAID 4, RAID 10. We talk about RAIDs, right? So those RAID we call them redundancy disk array, right? Redundancy array of independent disks, that is RAID. Redundancy array of independent disks, that is RAID. So it's all about providing fault tolerance That's what it does. When I mean fault tolerance, is the ability of a system or the hardware to recover when when the system fails. So if your system fails, for instance, now instead of losing your data, all right, with RAID drives, you can able to recover the hard drives. You know, you can recover the hard drive. So instead, you don't going to have a total failure. Those are what RAID does. So, but those RAID we talked about earlier, you know, they are not software RAID, they are hardware RAID. Hardware RAID in the sense that when you buy a server system, so you have this array of hard drives inside the server system. So they're inside, right? So when they're inside, means that you have a software utility that can use to manage those RAID. So don't bother, but don't worry. Once you buy those servers, you know, those servers have their own software. Those servers machine. So just like we have a desktop machine, we have servers machine. So those servers machine, they come with your RAID. So with one, they come with your hard drive, you know. So you be the one that decide which of the RAID you want to perform. Whether you want to do RAID 1, RAID 0, you know, RAID 5, RAID 10, you decide what you want to do. Right? So each of the RAID has a feature which we explained earlier. But all those we talk about, they are all about what? They are all about the physical aspect of RAID, right? Providing redundancy, physical aspect of it. Now, you can do redundancy, you can do RAID in Windows environment. We're talking about managing Windows, you can do it in Windows environment, right? So if you don't have a server machine, right, you can buy a desktop PC, clone it, put like 3 or 4 or 5 hard drive inside the hard drive, set it up, you know, on the system, right? So you set it up, you know, ensure that everything is okay, that we're connected to the system. 2, maybe you can use 2 for your RAID, mirror is 2 hard drive. So before you can proceed, if you want to do RAID 5, then you have to have at least up to like 4 hard drives, then you can do RAID, right? Now, if you want to proceed, right, to do dynamic, to configure RAID, that's where you have to go and convert your disk to dynamic disk. So you know, at this time, you no longer basic dynamic. You want to perform some advanced feature. So you have to convert it to dynamic disk. How do you do that? If I click on it, see, convert to dynamic disk. If I click on it now, see, I'm going to choose disk 0, but I'm not going to do that. So, but by the time I do that now, what's going to happen? I'm going to see all the if you can see, new spam volume, all these things that are disabled, RAID 5, mirror vol, all of them will now appear. See, all of them will now appear. So right now they are offline because they are not, the system is not dynamic disk. So we have to convert to dynamic disk, right? Okay, so also we can take a look at properties too. Now in properties, you know, you just tell you some features about the hard drive, right? So the policies of the, you know, volumes, all these ones, driver details, you also don't need this, right? You don't need this. So let's come back to this place now, right? Let's go up here, talk about C drive, that's the root partition. I click on it now and say properties, right? Properties, good. So in this place now, we can manage this hard drive here. How do we manage it? Like you can do disk defragmentation. You can optimize the hard drive for better performance. Right? See, you want your hard drive to work very well. You can optimize it, make it work very well. If you feel that some files are corrupt, you can come to tools. So go to tools now. See, error checking. So error checking means you want to check the hard drive. This very hard drive, C drive. You want to check it for what? For errors. If I click on it now, it starts checking for errors. So you see any errors, you just like scanning your hard drive. Then I talk about optimizing your hard drive for better performance. So we should also call defragmentation of hard drive. Now we need to understand something, right? See, by default, right, when you work on the system, when you save a job, when you're working and the job is being saved, they're saved to the hard drive. Now, in the hard drive, there are spaces they call sectors, right? So back then, when they say the hard drive had bad sectors, if they say hard drive had bad sectors, so it means there's those places in the hard drive where files are being stored, right? They are bad. So the hard drive is already bad, so you cannot save files anymore. So it means that hard drive is partially bad because the hard drive have bad sectors. Now, why do we say sectors? Because sectors are spaces in the hard drive where information are being stored, information are being saved. They are called sectors. And on the hard drive, those sectors, they are not They're not organized. They're not structured. They're not organized. They are scattered. So when you save a job, right? They don't save accordingly in a structured manner, in a organized manner. You can see one job and be saved in the middle, and I will save, just along will be saving at the top, one save horizontally, save anyhow. So that means you will not leave pocket of spaces on your hard drive. See, your hard drive now has pocket of space. Some sectors are spaces are there. So many pockets of space are there. So I don't know if you find that the hard drive not be working very well. It's not, it looks like slow, it's not working well because what? You have a lot of sectors that are in between that space that don't mean safe. So how do you solve that? Is to defragment the hard drive for better performance. When you do defragmentation, right, what happens? All those unstructured spaces, they will not come together. So your files will not be saving accordingly. That will make your hard drive work faster. So that is for defragmentation. So if you want to, you can try it on the system, right? You can look at it. Okay. So let's continue now. We also have a call. Let's take a look at something. If I have an option here to look at, disk cleanup. So you can clean your hard drive too. See, disk cleanup. If you notice that the files with your hard drive, right, they're becoming full, or maybe you have some temporary files, some internet files, you can delete them. How do we do that? Through disk cleanup. So the times that you download files and unwanted files and download them to your system. Or you can have some, as you work, you have some files, some temporary files are not necessary. You can go and clean this clean up. So this is not going to wipe them away. If I see delete files, so you're going to check for every files that are not needed and you're going to remove them. But I don't want to do that because if you are doing that, then you have to look at the system to look at files you don't need to wipe out. So right now, we don't have much files there. Based on what we have, there's just 30 kilobytes of files. See, that is obsolete. That system is saying that you can take them out. Right? Okay. So that is that about disk management, right? Okay. So now we've explained this on now. Defragmentation has optimizing the drive. Explain it. Now let's look at what we call HDD and HDD, which is hard disk drive, and SSD. SSD means solid state drive. Now let's look at the first one. The first one we call it the hard disk drive. So most of us, we all call the hard drive HDD, hard disk drive. Most of us, right? We call it like that. But for someone like me, who is experienced, who knows about IT, all right, I know that there's difference between HDD and what SSD. The both of them, they're what? They're storage devices. Right? You can say they're hard drives. Yes, both of them are hard drives. But one of them is now obsolete. All right. Why one of them is what is the updated version of what the hard drive. So which one is obsolete? That is hard disk drive. Back in the days, the system is what we call magnetic tape in saving. So our hard drives are huge. They are very big, heavy. All right. You can go on like you just look at go on like go to Google. Just type hard disk drive. You see it. So they are very big. They have magnetic tape inside. If you open, you see magnetic tape. So that's where our files are being stored. But now, you know, the hard disk drive are being replaced by what we call the solid state drive. We call SSD, solid state drive. So instead of using magnetic tape, they use what we call the flash drive, flash memory. Rather, use flash memory. That's what they use. Right. So they use flash memory. So what they are is flash memory. So now, what is the difference between two of them? Now, the difference between two of them is that the SSD, right? They have what larger storage capacity, SSD. Then aside that too, they are faster. In terms of processing speed. They are faster than what SSD, HDD drive. Right? So that's the SSD and the HDD. So remember again, the HDD is what our previous version of hard drive. So now, most of these days, people go and buy what SSD, solid state drive, instead of what hard disk drive. Alright? Okay. So we just explained this cleanup and moving unwanted files from the system. Just explain it now. So let's move on to our next slide. So the next thing we have called task scheduler. So you can schedule a task, you know. So let's say you have a program that you like to run all the time. All right. So maybe you want to run the program every day by 3 p.m. Right. So maybe by 10 or whatever time you decide to. So instead of starting the program manually, right, you could go there and start it and schedule the tasks that will run at the scheduled time. So every 3 p.m. or by 12, whatever time you decide by your choice, you can say, okay, this is the time, then let this program will start by this time. You can schedule a backup too. So if you have a backup that you might go and run manually, you can just create a backup. Then when you create a backup, go to schedule, task scheduler, and let the backup automate. So that is like automation to run by itself. You know. So what do we do? How do you create a schedule? So straight away you can come here and say, go to start. I click on start and see, look at it. You can see let's take a look at, if you don't get it here, don't worry, it's not here. So you get on computer management. That way you get task. It's not here. So you're going to get in under computer management. So take a look, computer management. Here, there we go. Yes. So you're going to see it here. So how do we get it now? We're going towards, well, we are clicking on our start. We are clicking on start icon. Then we now want to computer management. So here, this is it now. See, this is task manager. So when you click on it, see, you can see, right click on it and say create a task. See, I just right click on it and create a task, right? So I can say create the task. Then I can click on it, then, so you're going to bring the menu and you put the name of the task. You can define user group. So who you want to use, which user do you want to run that task? So if you want like the administrator only, then you can put it. If you want more than 2 persons, just add the user. See, this is where you add user for people you want to run the task, right? So just that is how to create the task, right? So take a look now. This task manager, you see, creates basic tasks. See, this is just the basic tasks. So you can go there, click basic tasks, give the name of the task. You can call it whatever I want to call it, right? Backup and on. Next. No, then you have to go and choose the program. You have to go and choose the backup. So the backup you already created, just go and pick it, then put a time for it and start running. You can run it and you can see. You can open any program, start a program, start any program, right? So I can just do something like this, say, let me just see, start a program. Start a program. Okay, so next, there we are. Daily, yes, I want packs to run on every day. Right? So the time, this is the time now. So let's say we want to run by, don't worry, just learning. Let's move on. All right? Start the program, yes. So you could read what is there, send an email, stuff like that. So at that time, I'm going to send an email, but let's look at start the program. So here now is where you have to choose the program, browse. So you can go to your computer and look for the program you want to. So I can look and which program do I want. I can look at this program, right? See, this is what Wireshark for cyber security. I can say open. Then if I say next, right? Then I'm trying to look at Wireshark. I'm trying to say I want to start the program at that time that I specified, right? But I'm not going to start it anyway. So that's for about task manager. Then the next one now we have local user and group console. Local user and group console. So earlier, when in our previous classes, we talk about standard user and what administrative user. So we said the standard user, they are the local user accounts. Again, we talk about the standard user account and what the administrator user account, which is the administrative user account. So the standard account, they are called local account. Those are the accounts that come to your computer system, just like my computer I use right now, all right? So that means that, when I get a system, there's an account that is created on that system. These are local computer accounts. So that account reside on what? My computer. So there's a directory called SAM directory, which called security account manager. That we call SAM directory. So that account is where when you create an account on the system, all local accounts that is on the system, right? All computer accounts on the system, not on the network, all those accounts, they are stored in SAM directory. So that's why at times, when they ask somebody password, hackers, those are the account they target. So user accounts and the password, they are stored in SAM directory. So if an attacker managed to get hold of that directory, right? Then you can go and think that you can crack it and break it and get the system password. So they have a lot of software they use to do all these things anyways. All right, so that is the SAM account, right? Okay, good. So now, in your computer, you can create local accounts too, right? You can create a local account and even local groups. If, for instance, now, you have more than one person using your computer, and you have some important files, you want some privacy, to yourself, you don't want to see your files, so you have some confidential files, you can create another account to the user so that they can be using the account instead of using your account. So when you create the account, you're going to create a separate profile for that person. So which means your profile is distinct to you, nobody can see it, right? So how do we create an account? Easy. So the same way, we go to the start, you go to computer management, right? Computer management, right? Then you see user account now. Let's see local user, look at it here. See, local users and group. right? So now we have all this user, this group. Now, users means that you want to create a user account. Why groups mean that you want to create a group and put user account inside. So you're creating a group that put users inside. Now, let's take for instance now, right? I'm going to create an account new. See, I'm going to call it Peter. I just create an account called Peter. Now, this I put this full description, full name, description, password. If I want the password, I can the password. If I want the password, I can leave it blank, right? So later I'll talk about password policy, but for now I can leave it blank. Then you see, user must change password as next logon. So if I put the password, it means that the next time the user is logging in, the user have to enter the password. But I don't need to put the password, right? And if I also leave it blank like this, the same way, the next time the user want to log into the system, the user have to enter the password, change the password. So what I've done, I've checked it, uncheck it. Which means the user should not do that. But if I want user to change the password, I can put it there, right? Then I can say create account. So I just create the account now. Right? I can close it. Then I can come to group. Now, the group account is for it to simplify administrative work. Say for instance now you have a department, right? In a department, 5 people there, they use similar function, they do perform similar function. Maybe finance department, for instance. In finance department, everybody there prints with the printer. They just do printing only, or they just do print. So you have some few persons there that maybe 1 or 2 persons there. They don't manage the printer. So you can create administrative work for the printer, administrative print for the printer. Create a group. Then those 5 users, in that accounts department, in that finance department, put them in that finance group. Create a group, put all the users in that account, put them in that group. Then what you do, go to your printer and look for finance. Then give finance privilege to print. So as soon as you give finance privilege to print, right? Because finance is a group, everybody in that finance group, everybody, know what happen? They will to print to that work. So if you are not in finance group, you cannot print, right? So the other person who are not there, they can print, manage the printer. But those 5 people, you will straight them to just print. Okay, so let's see now. Let's create a new group. We'll call it finance, right? Finance. Then we'll say create now, right? So let's go back now. Let's go back. Go to users now. Remember we call Peter, right? This is what we created, Peter. What's up? Now we call John, right? So we can learn with this. So we have Peter. Go back. So right click on Peter properties. Then we're going to say member of. It's not member. We have Peter in the member of the group. So we're going to say finance, right? Say this is finance, and then we're going to say okay. See? So we've add Peter to this group called finance now. Then we're going to apply it and say okay. So Peter is the member of that finance group. Let's go to John. Go to John, do the same thing. Properties. Then go to member of ads. So say finance, yeah? Excellent. So there we go. Good. So apply it and say okay. Fantastic. All right. So we have 2 users in a group. How do you show that in finance? Go to finance group. This finance now, right? So what do you see here? Go to finance, this finance, right click on it, properties, go to members. Look at, see 2 members, John and Peter. So that's how you create it. So that means this finance now, if I get to my printer, when I'm creating users right and permission, what would I do is to call up finance group and give what finance only permission to print. Just say print permission. They will just print. Just put print. And they will print for them. They will just print. So John and Peter will just print. So that's how to manage users and group. But we don't need them. We just wipe them off. So I'm going to take off finance now. Delete. Go back to users. Take away Peter. This is Peter. I'm just deleting that to delete an account, right? Delete it. Yes, I don't want it anymore. John, delete them. I don't want it anymore. And why do you delete it? For security reasons. When you create an account, right, and the user is no more using it, you have to take it out to delete it from your system. If you don't do that, right, you might have an intruder, right, or somebody who is not authorized to use the system, who uses the account to log to the network. So always delete an account that is not that you know that it's not being used anymore. You delete it out totally. You must delete it out. So because hackers, they have a way of, if they manage to penetrate your system, so they break into your system and they enter your system, they'll look for ways they can be able to gain more access, more privilege. So when they see that there's an account that is open for them to use, they'll just use it and log to the network. So that's why you must always, log to the system, that's why you must always any account that is not used, you have to deprovision it, take it out. Okay, So that is that, right? Then we have certificate manager. So certificate manager is an advanced feature. I'm just going to explain to you, right? So it's an advanced feature. So it's more like a cybersecurity thing, but I'll just introduce to you. Now, certificate manager is a way to certify computer on the network, right? Now, in an advanced way, apart from the network, we can go to the advanced way. Now, in advanced way, is a way to certify applications on the internet, like programs on the internet, websites on the internet, to certify them. So that any domain that is registered, they are certified, they are given authority, they are checked, they are authentic. That is certification. So they have to be certified by a body called certificate authority. Certificate authority, they issue certificate every digital application online, every website give them certificates. Without a certificate, that website is not secured. Similarly, too, on our network, on our normal network, so we have a local network, right, and we have a wide area network. So again, go back to our previous video, we explained all these things, local network, domain network, we talk about all those things, right? So now, in a normal network, right, in a normal network environment, computers, they log into the domain. How do they log in? They authenticate through what? A user's name and a password. They have to authenticate. So during authentication, right, the computer, right, we try to access the Active Directory domain network. So there's a directory called Active Directory where all credentials are being stored. So the computer will try to access it. It's a process that goes on, try to access it. So if the credential of that user is in Active Directory, which is on the network, that user will be allowed to join the network. Now, you can add more security by saying that, right, not just the user, every computer in your organization, every computer in your organization that must be part of your network, right, they have to be authenticated. They have to be certified before they can join the network. So the fact that the user's name exists on the network, right, the computer too must be part of the network. So if the administrator creates a certificate authority, like issuing certificate to every computer on the network, that means that any user, any computer that comes to the network, for security reasons, that we create certificates. Any computer that comes outside the organization, comes to the company, the organization, right? For that computer to be part of the network, right? Your certificate authority have to give that computer called a digital certificate. That computer, have to be certified. So your certificate server must issue certificate to that computer. If not, apart from the user has the computer, the user, there's a legit user's name and password for that person to belong to the domain. The fact that you have the domain name and user's name to enter the network, you cannot use it because why? That computer is an external computer, maybe external customer, and the certificate authority doesn't authorize it to be able to use on the network. So that is about certificate authority. So there's a certificate, there's a server, we call it the root certificate server. That's the server that will issue certificate. Don't worry. This is just an intro, right? We'll get to know more about that. Now, there's what called group policy. Group policy. So the same we talk about the group, right? And we talk about group NAT. Group policy is a different kind of a thing, right? It's not like the user account we created now. Group policy means that you want to simplify administrative tasks. So you have common built-in policies that define how the system works, how user work, how you use the system. It defines how it works. So these are common built-in policies. So when we say policies are like a guide, like a strict guide that we must follow. Those are policies. So every organization has policies, you understand, about how to use the computer. So the same way, the computer has built-in policies that you can apply. For instance, take a look now. See, we have password policy here, and I say all these are built-in policies. It's telling you that this place, minimum password age for 2 days. This is a policy. Now, this computer, if this policy applied to this computer, right? That user, after 42 days, that user must change his password. All these are built-in policies. See, they are all built-in policies, right? It's a minimum password length, 0 days. See, It talks about what? Password must meet complexity requirements, say disable. What does that mean? Now, it means that you don't need to do, if you are creating a password, you don't need to put a capital letter, small letter, at sign, you don't need it, disable it here. But for security reasons, you can enable this in your policy. So all these are policies. So you can say, okay, I want to have a distinct policy for my company. So if you're creating individual policy for every computer, you can create a policy, a default policy on your domain, create a default policy, give it a name, then you can add all the computers. Maybe you want a password policy, right? Create it on the domain network. Then you're going to add all the computers that you want that policy to affect, add all of them. So when you add all of them to that policy, so what it means is that every computer that is coming into the network, every computer coming into the network, right? So long they're in that group policy, right? They cannot exceed whatever password is. If you say minimum password, even if it's at 42 days, they won't change password. So whatever you put in your policy is going to apply to them. So good policy is a way of administrative, a way to what? Simplify administrative tasks to make your work easier, right? Similarly too, you can create a policy for updates. So if you are the administrator of a company, and you notice that computer always getting updated, every system go to the internet gets updated, you can create a policy to restrict users from going to get updates, for automatic updates. So you can create a policy that will say, okay, you want a specific computer to get the updates. So when the update is ready, a specific computer will download the update. After downloading, it will not distribute to other computers. So you can create that. Create it. You define when you say Windows update, allow only this computer. You go to locate it, update. Allow this. You can go to system. It's there. Allow this update to receive allow this system to receive updates. System receive it. After receive, then download to other computer. You can create all this policy. You choose it. So now, how do we access good policy? We can access it. We can go to computer management too. We click on your start this thing. Then say what? Computer management. You will see good policies there. All right. So here we are. This is what. Okay. So we don't have it here. I will show you another way to have it. So I'm going to show you another way to show you good policy. Right? It's not here, but I'm going to show you another way. So I can show you another way to get good policy now. So if you can't find it here, it's fine, right? So I'm going to show you another way to access. So very soon I'll show you the good policy, right? But just know that we talk about good policy. I'll show you. It's there, but I'll show you. So let's continue. Okay, so then the registry. So don't worry, I'm going to show you I'll show you about the good policy. Don't worry, I'll show you very soon. Now, the registry. Now, the registry is, another very important aspect of the computer system. Look at the word registry. So it's all about it register every component, everything about the system, the OS, the monitor, the keyboard, the hardware, the software application you install, the operating system, your user's profile, everything. What happened? The operating system has root folders. Sorry, the computer has a root folder that they store everything. In other words, so when you come about the operating system, right? Everything about the operating system components, they are inside what? His own machine, separate folder. Everything about the user, every user account, if you create like 5 user accounts, their profile is inside what? Their own profile. See, take a look at this one now. See, in this place now, see, every user profile you see, they are in this place. See, so we have this one and this one. So similarly to application that you install, when you install application, to install each time you install a software, right? They go to a specific location. So identifying. So I'm not going to spend much time about the registry because the registry is a very deep topic in system engineering. So the more you advance as a worker as system engineer and system administrator, you're going to know more about the registry. So I'm just explaining you that the registry keeps record of everything that happens, everything, every hardware, every software, everything. Just the back end of your system units is a registry. That's the back end. All right. So there are times if you might delete it's just like you can delete a user self from the registry. So anything done on the registry affect the entire computer. You can delete a software, take away application, everything from the registry. That's the back end. Right? Okay. So that is so how do you access registry? You can access it through the regedit. So let's go there. Say regedit. Go to your regedit, registry editor. Go to your run menu. Just type regedit. Then say okay. it takes you to the registry, right? So here we are, reg edit. So this is it now, reg edit, registry editor. So it's going to open the registry editor for me. So here now, if an experienced system engineer can work on this place. So if you're not an experienced system engineer, please, you can read more. But if the computer is your own, you can experiment your system. That is your own computer, right? But don't experiment the customer system. You can experiment your own system and learn more, right? So read more about it, about the registry and stuff like that, right? Excellent. Okay. So don't forget, I'm going to tell you about I'm going to show you where the good policies are. So I have not forgotten. Now, so we have what called the MMC, Custom Microsoft Management Console. This is where I'm going to show you about the registry now, right? So what is the MMC? What is the MMC? Now, the MMC is, we call it a Microsoft Management Console. Is an administrative toolbox for system engineer, network administrator, system administrator. Is the toolbox that used to work regularly. So just like an engineer has toolbox that used to work, so all the necessary tools they want to do, they are in that toolbox. The same way, system administrator have their own toolbox. Now, just take for instance, we've looked at several management console. Each time we have to go into, we want to perform a task, we want to do task manager, you have to go to the management console. You can have one toolbox whereby all those tools are there. So if you go into different places, you want to create a user account, you want to do a task, you go different places, you just create one toolbox whereby everything is there. So that toolbox is called Management Console. It's called MMC, Microsoft Management Console. It's a short administrative tool. So let's see how do we create it. Take a look. Go to run now. So now I'm going to show you about group policy. I'm going to show you about it. So now I go to run. I'm going to type MMC. This is where we are. MMC, Microsoft Management Console. Okay, see, this is Microsoft Management. Open it now. Here we are. Right? So this is it now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create my own toolbox. So I'm going to come to Word File. See, I'm going to say Add. See, then the tools I use frequently, I'm going to add them. What do you see here? Device Manager. We just use it now, right? You can add the Device Manager. See, right? We did it earlier. We had it as our tool, right? Computer management. Remember, we were going to computer management earlier. Had it. All the tools you want to use. You can't say hard, right? Which one again? Good policy. See, we just talk about good policy now. Is there? See, add good policy. Yes. So you're saying is it local computer is for this? So local policy means the policy will apply to this computer. That is a local computer policy. So everything, any policy you could apply for this computer only. That's what it means, right? So you see, we just look at this, few disk management. So I had this management. It's one way explain now. I had it too. See? Yes. So we've had this. So what do? We are okay. I can get advanced, but I just okay like this. Yeah, okay. See, look at them. These are my votes. These are my 4 tools that I've used. So if I need to go to disk management, I don't need to go through the long. I'll just open my MMC, open it. See, it's going to put disk management. See, this is what we explained earlier. I see everything here now. This is good policy now. See, local policy, good policy is here. So here now I can say if I want to create a policy for a computer, I can go to computer settings. I can go to administrative set template. So here now I can see default policies. Default policies. I'm going to see them here. See, default policies. This is for systems, all settings. So all policies are going to see them here. You see? See, prevent lock screen, background motion. See, everything about the computer work. First specific lock screen, prevent changing lock. So you can prevent changing start meaning. So many things that you don't know. These are back here. You can control them. Policies are fit to local system. Right? Okay. So this is what we call the MMC. Shortcut tools for administrator to use, system administrator to use. All right. So now, how do? I have to save it now. I'll save it. See, save. All right. Then I created one earlier. See, there's one tool I created. It's called Toolbox. So I can create this account Toolbox 2. Toolbox 2. Comes the Toolbox 2 down. Say save. All right. Okay. Good. So I'm going to close it now. So now the next day now I want to work. Right. So what do? I have to go and open MMC again. So I'll put the run menu, then type MMC, enter. So it's going to open it for me. See now, it's blank. How do? I'm going to open my tool. Click on File, click on open. So this is it, toolbox 2. See it now? That's what I just created now. So that's how you can work, administrative work. So all, see, they're all here now. See, that is it. See, they are here now. See, these are the 4 toolbox. So you can do whatever I want to do. Computer management. See, you're going to put computer management for you. See, this is your hard drive, your storage, disk management. We talked about disk management earlier, right? See, excellent, right? Okay, so that is it, right? So the next thing I want to talk about now is how to troubleshoot the system. So perform the system. You want to see how the system function, what per application is being used, what is the memory usage, what is the processor usage, which application is using more, which user is online. You can measure performance of your system, how your system perform. You can troubleshoot with all those tools. All right. So now, if you see here now, we have system information. The first thing you need to know about is system information. So if you want to know more about your system, right? So you want to know what OS are you using, what processors are you using, what is the speed of your motherboard, you know, what Windows you are using. Just name them, right? You can do a rundown of your system by going to system information. How do you do that? Let's see. Take a look now. Go to your start. We can click on it and say system. Look at the system. You're going to give an overview of your system. See? What do you see? Processor. Now, I already know that this is my processor speed. My system is using iCore 5664 HQ CPU dual core 2.60. Right? That's my processor now. Look at my RAM. Install RAM is 16 GB RAM, so I have a very good size of RAM. 16 GB RAM. That's my system has 16 GB RAM. Graphics card. Graphics card is the display of my monitor. So the visual I see, that is the size, 128 megabytes, which is also fine. That's how you can see I could have nice graphics. Right? Now, if for instance now you decide to do some multimedia work, you decide to watch some video games and stuff like that, and your video is not coming out where the art of graphics is not coming away, you can buy a graphics card. So we talked about graphics card earlier in our previous lesson. In lesson 1, lesson 2, you can go all over. We talk about it. So you can buy that. So it tells you about it, right? So you can buy a higher graphics card and install it. So you're now using your data as a VGA, right? Then we have storage capacity too. That's your hard drive, which I explained earlier. So your hard drive is here. Here it's showing 238 gigabytes hard drive. See? So what do you see now? I said 207 gigabytes used. So from there now, you already know how many hard drives being used. Right? So this is just a summary. You know, if you take a look at all these things, see everything it's going to tell you. Processor, look at the processor. Intel Core i5, your install RAM, it's going to tell about the install RAM, your graphics card, the same thing. Your storage capacity is there. Device ID, this is the ID of the device is there. The product ID is there. You know, what system type? 4-bit operating system. If you are one 64 bits, there's a 2-bit there's a 2-bit operating system, and there's 2-bit operating system, and there's x64 type of processor too. So when we talk about processor architecture, which we did in our earlier lesson. Lesson 1, lesson 2, just go back. Lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. Go back to our channel, open our channel, Tech Aeon 80. That is what the channel, Tech Aeon 80. Open the channel, you see all our videos, look for it. CompTIA A Plus, lesson 1, lesson 2. Look at all these things, we explain all these things. They're all there. 64-bit operating system, 2-bits, when they have to be compatible. You see? So you can see 64-bit OS is going to work X-based processor. So please, if you are buying a system, right, and you want to do a lot of work on it, want to do so many networking as a system engineer and network cybersecurity engineer, your processor architecture must be x64 based. That means your motherboard processor must be this one. If you can't do so many, you can't do virtualization, you can't do cloud computing, you can't do so many things. So many things, you are limited. So just take note, right? So more and more, here now I see the Windows information. See, tell you about the Windows. See here now, see the Windows are using what the Windows 11. It tells you about it. And more. The date was installed, the OS was installed. See, it was installed 11th of what? July. Tell you when it was installed, the OS build capacity, the features. So that is, that is it, right? Okay. So that is it. So we can move on now about that. So that's for system now. So event viewer, what is event viewer? Now the event viewer, these are where we see logs. So every event that takes place in the system, when you install a program, they are logged in the event log. If you install a program, that program install is the time you install that program is there. If you edit something in your system, everything is there. If you create a permission, if you create maybe you create a folder and you give a folder permission, maybe you write permission, somebody access it. When they access it, you know that it was accessed through the event viewer. So you can determine if you can audit it if the system is doing what. Those who will be a security auditor, these are some of the things they do. They can't audit it. They go to the system and audit, see if somebody accessed that file. Was it successful? Were they able to access the file successfully, or were they unable to access the file? If they're able to access the file successfully, you see the time it was accessed. It will see successful access. You also see what the date and time, and the users who access it, you see it. If the source was a failure, you see it, the time, the failure, the account, So this is a way of trying to see people who try to play your system. Try to attempt to hack your system and, attempt to log the system illegally. You can also not throw this way. So in the event log, there are three major kind of logs. So we have the system log, application log, and security log. So the system log are the event that do with the system, the OS application. So the OS system. I mean OS, anytime the operating system, we are working on the Windows. Any event that do the Windows, we have error, all those things, they are logged in the system log. Then the security log, like I just explained, the security log, if you want to see event that do your security, right, like user password, someone try to change it to log the system, attempt to log your system, like they try the first password is not working, or the attempt they try to log the system. Every failed attempt is going to log into what? The security log. The same way they try to access the file too. The same way, like I explained, they are going there. Application, every application you install, you download the driver, you download the application online, software, anything you go to what? The application software, right? Okay, so setup, after you set up your system files, everything down setup, right? So how do we access event log? So we can go back again and take a look at our start menu and see event viewer. So if you open event viewer, this is so you can open it, launch event viewer, snap in, then you can see this is event viewer, right? So excellent. So we can go to Windows log, then we can see application log, security log, system log, setup log. I explain all these things, right? So this page you can see, you can be able to, let's not go more about that, right? So the more you proceed, like in your field of, you can be, the more you proceed as system engineer, you know more about these things, right? So for here, these are to be able to explore your application log, system log. So you can explore it, you can create a log, and view it, you can just explore it, right? Okay, so that's about event log. Then we have, so now I want to look at how we can manage our system now. Task manager. So we want to look at the task manager, task performance monitor, all these ones, look at all these things. Then we're going to call, okay, startup processes, yes, all these ones. I'm going to look at resource monitor, all these ones. I'm going to look at the system utility configuration. We look at it, then we move to level C. Okay, so let's start. So now the task manager is where we used to manage all the tasks that's going on. All right, like you want to know what is your processor usage, what is the memory usage, what is the hard drive usage, what is your network usage, right? Which application is using what size of memory is application using. If you open 5 applications, you want to know which is consuming more memory. You want to know, and how they're being used by the processor. You want to know. So how do you do task manager? You can click on your task bar here. You can click on your task bar and go to task manager. Or you can similarly go to the same way, start, right? Go to the same way, start. You can see task manager is here, all right? Open task manager. Go. So go to task manager now. So you just take a look. So this is task manager, right? So what we have here now, see what we have, this is task manager. So you can see processes, these are processes that are on right now. All the processes that are on. So see, Windows Explorer is on, Windows, all these ones are on. Can I expand it here? So you can see, when you expand it, you can see more. So if you take a look now, you notice that on our processes, what is the CPU usage of this system right now? 54%. See, at point you get to 70%, but now it's dropping. So it goes between average of 55, 60, 70, right? That's our CPU usage. Now let me talk about the CPU. If anytime you open your CPU and it's getting to 90-something%, right? That means that system is overused. Now, it's also possible too that the system might not be overused, right? It's just that somebody somewhere is doing all call, loading your system with so many traffic. That is network, that is cyber security anyway, all right? So it's also possible that, somebody has gained access to your system and is running a malicious program in your system. It's just running. So you have a malicious program running your system. And those programs, they run the system, they use the memory too. They use the RAM, everything, the processors to run too. So those one can make your process speed go up. Right? So yeah, memory uses 60%. So each time your memory gets to 90%, suspect some. So you have to find that either the memory is filled up, right? So apparently it's possible that your memory is filled up, right? So maybe your memory, it means that your application using memory that more than disk usage. So this is your right and this. So right now, I see our network is not being on, so we're not doing networking. So yeah, now our disk usage 1%. Okay, let's come back again now. So from this system now, we can see that we have what? From this system now, we can see that we have WhatsApp using 185 megabytes of RAM. See? Windows Explorer using what? 68 megabytes of RAM. So you can take a look. Let's come to this place. Take a look. This is Chrome. What do you see? Chrome using 1.6 gigabytes of RAM. Processor only. See? So Chrome is taking almost half our processor using, almost half. That's what Chrome using. So yeah, you can tell which application is using what they are using. You can stop an application. The same way now, see, these are background processes. These are processes that are running on the background. Here now you can find that if any of these processes that are running, if they are not you that started it, right? So if you have a malicious code, right, or maybe a malware, some is running on the background of the system and you don't know. A malware is a virus. Run on the background somewhere, you can know from here. So if you look at all these things and you suspect one of these things are not something from you don't know about it, so you can just stop it instantly. So if you see anything that you don't understand, go and find out on Google, find out what that is. Take a look at what is there. If you look at it, what is this? I don't know this. You just end it. See? So how do you end it? I click on it and say end task. So you end that task. So you're going to stop. Right? So on and on, these are processes. So you take a look at all of them. Things are running on the background. And when you don't want to stop them. See, I'm looking at it now, right? Looking at them. Things I don't want, I can just stop them. Things I don't want, I will just. So this is it, right? This is it, right? So these are processes that are running on the system. They also have services too. Let's call them services. We're going to look at services. Now, service applications, they are components of your system too, right? So they link to every application on the system, either a printer, either a protocol, either your network. All the services, they run on the background, right? So a service that is running on the background means that service is being used. Why is service that is not run, like see some of them are stopped, they're not being used. So it's also possible at times that you are trying to use an application and the application is not working. Suppose that application was stopped running. So you have to go to service and go and find that. Then you can watch, and if you see that it's not working, you can click on it and say start the service. You should start. So a service that you feel don't, you stop it. Now, why do you stop services? Now, the more you advance in your field, when you move to cyber security, you're going to find out how do hackers hack system. One thing they do, hackers do, to find about the system. So to find about which services are open. They say the services are open, they can be able to enter your system through those services. This is open service. We call it open port and services. You can be able to use to enter the system. So it's always good that you close every services that you don't use. Look at things. If you see this service don't need, close it, stop it, right? Okay, so all these are services, right? So later you can find, because Bluetooth, even your Bluetooth. So a Bluetooth service, everything. So you look at all those things, a service that has been stopped here. If you find a device is not working, your printer is not working, you go to the printer spooler, right? So go to the printer spooler. So the printer spooler, there are service they do with your, look at print notify, something about print, all these things. So so you can check most of all these things, check them here, So you check them here. So many things that they run on the background, they under service, so many things. So you can explore, look at, I think I talk about this polar later. So these are the printer. See, it's running, right? So which means my printer can print now. So many things you can check on the background, right? Okay, excellent. So that is about service. So on users too. So in users now, you tell you, if for instance now I have more than 3 users on this system, right? Maybe this is a server system. If this system is a server system, at a nutshell, I can tell how many systems are connected to my network. If this is a server system, I will tell how many users, what percent of RAM are they using on my server, I can tell. So right now, only one user is there, Windows 11, that is user. And it's using what, 4%, using between 20 to 40% of my processor. The memory is just there, it's not going up, it's just 65% of RAM, that's what it's using. I can set the hard disk space, 1%, not using much of my hard drive, not saving, not doing so much. Network is off. Right, so I can tell if the user is using so much bandwidth, I can tell from here. If the user is using so many bandwidth, I can tell. Because I will see the network usage will be very hard. I know that the user uses a lot of bandwidth. Maybe downloading something or doing some stuff on the network. Okay, so that is that. So another thing I want to show you is what called the resource monitor, right? So I'm going to show you resource monitor too. So resource monitor is if you want to look at every resources about your system, every resource about the system, how they are being used, how they are being utilized, right? So I can come here and type resource monitor here. See, resource monitor. So this is resource monitor now. Let's type in the full resource. Okay, this is it, resource monitor, right? So resource monitor is also another way to also manage and monitor your system, right? So I want to monitor resource about my system now. So I'm going to do resource monitor. Yeah. See? So excellent. Okay. So now I see this resource monitor is telling about the CPU usage. So see? Resource monitor. See? All these are some services that is in your CPU. See? All these are processes rather. Don't say they are processes, they are resources. See? Now, see, you can in this place now you can see some funny things that you feel that you don't want. You can see every services resources that are going to be buying. You can know. See, anyone you know that you don't want. This Explorer is Windows, so that is Fire Explorer. I can leave it, right? You see, Chrome is there. This Civil is my camera. I can leave it. So you can take a look. Anything you feel that you know that if you just see something that you suspect, right? Whatever you feel suspect that is not necessary, you could just stop it, So I'm looking at them, what is this? I don't know what is that. I could stop it, right? I could end that process. I've ended that process, end the process. That process is gone. So when look at it. When I attempt to execute the command, the following system error or access denied. So access denied because that process I'm trying to end now, right? Is being used by another resource. So somebody is another company is using it now. That's why I cannot end it, right? So again, you have to find out so many things. As you begin to learn more in this field. So in cybersecurity engineers, cybersecurity experts, these are the use of these things to check, monitor the system for attack and viruses and spyware, malware, hardware, all those things they use to monitor. So in this place, see anything. So a malicious code running your system, you can know. If a malicious code on your system running, you can know from here, right? So if you see anything, if you see anything, go and find out. Go like this. If I see this, I don't know what this is now. I have to go and find out. This is running. What is this? I can look at it. I don't know. I can suspend it. I can just suspend it, or I could just analyze it here. Analyze it with Shin, or I could just go to Google and go and check it on Google what that is. So if something I know that I will see it on Google what it means, I'll just end it once and for all, right? Okay. So finally, system utility configuration, which is this one, right? So this one, last one, this one, system configuration utility, right? So let's just take a look at that, then we'll move to level C. So for that now, we have to go to MMC config. So this one, MMC config.excel. See, that will give you system configuration utility. Open it. Yes, there we go. Okay, so system configuration, right? So this place is just easy things. These are normal start to how the system start. What we need most is on boot. So this booting, it tells how your operating system work. What I mean, not like how your operating system work in the sense that when you have more than one operating system, maybe you have like dual operating system, you have Windows 11 and you have another operating system, maybe you have Linux operating system running. So each time the system boots, you have to decide which of the operating system you want the system to start from. Is it Windows 11 or Windows Linux? So the default one will always be at the first one that will appear. So what happens is that since you have two, the alert will be on the default operating system, which is 11, for instance, right? So one is there. You need to go towards, you need to look at the seconds that is counting. So you see, look, what you have is timeout, 30 seconds. So in other words, the points will be there waiting for you in counting 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. It will be counting. So if at that time the default is still there, still counting, and you didn't choose the second operating system, the alert will be on the default one. All right. So what happens is that if after 30 seconds you refuse to choose the default operating system, then that means the system will now boot from your Windows 11, because that is what the alert is. But within that 30 seconds, if you just press it down, you can choose the second one and say enter, you're going to move to the next OS, right? So that's about that, right? So all the rest here is something that we'll talk about now. All these ones, we don't, some of these things now, service and stuff like that, right? These are services, we talk about them now, we talk about them now. Okay, so that is it. So let's come to the final lesson in this chapter, lesson 11C, command, right? So command, this is just how to use some of these commands. Some of these we do on the system, we can use command to do them, right? This is command prompt. So command prompt they are old-fashioned anyway. They are old-fashioned of working. But if you're going to be a good system administrator, you have to know commands. You have to know how to use command. Very important. Especially if you want to write script, you want to be a script writer. You have to understand the shell command. Very, very important. How to use them. Stuff like that. Very, very important. Right? Okay. So let's see some funny command now. So we have, all these are commands, right? These are commands. We have dir. Dir is for directory. So it's a list directory. So if you go to command prompts, why do you access command prompt? Let's go to command prompts. Go to run menu, and type command, right? CMD, or you can just type command. Or similarly, this is long, just go to start, right? Come to start, type command here. See this command, right? Good. Now, if you open command, right? Just open it now. This command, right? So type dir. See, that will display directory. Directory are folders. In other words, all the folders I created, all these folders in Explorer, look at them here. All these folders in Explorer. See, all these folders. See, C. Let's go to C. See all these folders. All these are folders. They're called directory. That's what I'm seeing here. When I type dir will display folders. Look at it, all of them. See, to display them for you. They're called folders, right? That is dir means display directory. The command prompt, right? Okay. So, meanwhile, take a look at something. I'm on the directory called Windows directory. So the dir I type now, right? See, dir I type now means what? I'm in the directory called Windows. See, Windows 11. That is the directory I am. I'm inside this folder called Windows 11. So anything that I display now, all this that I display is not what I saw here. So what you saw here is on C. See, all you saw is on C, right? So I'm only seeing what is on Windows. So this is where I went to. I went to Windows. See, Windows. This Windows good. So all these are what I'm seeing at Windows. That's what I showed now. So if I want to see everything on C on my C drive, right? What do I do? So I have to go back to the C drive. So there's a command called CD. CD will take you back. See? CD backslash for Windows. Backslash will take you back. So CD backslash take us back. See, take us back. So what have I done now? I've gone to what the root drive is C. I cannot type dir now. dir, enter. See, excellent. So these are, see, all these are what you see now. All these are the folders on my what? C drive. So that's what we saw here. These are the folders. Look at them. On C. Look at it. See, all these folders. All of them now. That's what you see here now. That's what you see. You can verify it on your system, right? So that is it, right? Excellent. Good. So we'll look at DIRO now. We'll look at the DIRO command. Look at DIRO, see the dot dot. See the dot will take you backwards. Right? You can try it. This one I use now that took me back. Drive navigation now. If you're C drive, if you're on C drive, you have to add drive. You can go from C, you can type C. If you're on D and you want to go to C, just type C column, it take you to C. If you're on C, you want to go to D, type D column. Alright? See the dot dot, this is to change directory. If I want to change to a directory, I will just type CD dot dot, right? And name of the directory. For example, I want to go to Windows, I can just CD Windows. Alright? Okay, let me just show you something now. Let's take a look now. So I want to go to Windows now. See what I'm going to do. Okay, so I want to go to this directory. This was cybersecurity notes. I want to go there. So what do? I have to understand that I have to be in C, right? I'm going to have to say CD, what should C? Cyber security. I have to type the C in capital letter, right? Very important. So the C is in capital letter. C, cyber. So I'm trying to change to that what? That directory, that folder. Cyber security notes. See? So cyber security notes. Here we now. Cyber security notes. I'm going to say enter. So what happened? I'm inside what? The cyber security directory. So I'm inside that folder now. If I want to see everything in that folder, what do? I'll type dir directory display. So see, I'm going to see them. So see, I have a class 1 MP3. So that is a what? A voice MP3. I have 2. See, what is that MP3? So I can see some notes that the information security jot notes. So this is the doc file. Samuel Ben, that is on the file, doc file. Alright? So this is how you're going to use the command prompt. Very important. Command is very interesting, right? Very interesting. Okay. So all these are copying of files, that you can move files, you can copy one file from another to another. MD to make a directory, to make a folder. So the same way you create a folder on your desktop environment, you can also create a folder on your on command prompt. Remove directory. So you don't want a folder anymore, you can remove it from here. Alright? So /s means subdirectory. So if you remove a folder and the other sub folder inside, /s will remove everything, all the subdirectory inside. Okay, so we're coming to the end. So we have disk format, disk path, you want to partition the hard drive, format hard drive, like you want to clear the hard drive totally and start afresh. Check disk, like you want to check your disk for what? For errors. We talk about sectors that time. Say scan this for unusable sectors. When we talk about sectors that time, so that sectors are not being used, you can do check this. So I explained the sectors to you for you earlier, right? Good. So finally, let's look at shutdown. So you can shut down your system for command prompt. You can shut it down for command prompt. Shut down, restart. You can just type shutdown command prompt. You're going to shut it down. Try it for your system. You see, it's going to work. Now, what about SFC? Very important. See, when you have some files that you feel are damaged, some damaged files, well, you can do that. But before we do that, let's look at WinVer. WinVer is to check the current version of your Windows. Take a look. Go to Run menu. Type WinVer. See, enter. See, Windows 11. So you want to know what operating you're using in a nutshell, just type WinVer. Just show it to you. You can do it in command prompt too, right? So I can do it here. So what will I do? Let me exit what? Cybersecurity CD ... back. So I can see what? Take a look. WinVer. Show me the version of Windows. See, look at it, WinVer. So that is it. Right? That's how to know your Windows you are using. Excellent. Right? Okay. So SFC. Right? FFC. So FFC is just to fix files, missing files in your system, damaged file, you want to scan and see, right? So, but if you try something here now, it's not going to work. Let me show you. It's not going to work. I'll tell you why. SFC. Enter. It's not working. Say you must be an administrator or run the console session in order to use the SFC utility. So what does it mean? That there's some administrative tools that cannot work while you're on command prompt, except what you run the command prompt as an administrator. How do you do that? Let's go back. So if you go to command now, here we are. This is command, right? So you're going to type command. So right click on it. Run as administrator. See, run as administrator. So we cannot try it now, right? So you're going to put command now. We can type what? SFC. See. So it has given us option, right? So SFC is scan now. So look at all, you can read about the options. Take a look. Scan now. Scans integrity of all protected system files and repairs files with problem with when possible. So all system, say scan integrity of all protected system files and repairs files. So we have system files. Then look at this one. Verify only, scan integrity of all protected system files. No repair operation is needed. So if you want to repair, show the first one. Scan file, scan integrity of reference file. So you can look at all the options. Let's say we want to try the first one. We just say SFC, say first, then you now put the word / scan now. Enter. So it's going to scan now. Right? So it's trying to scan. See? Begin to on and now. So that is the end of what? Lesson 11. So I'll see you in lesson 12. Bye. Okay, so see you lesson 12. Bye.